Spyserver from HK3 Charlie.
Hello, take 420, take 420 Netherman, Hotel Papa 1, Tropical Alpha 5 X-ray Victor, Hotel Peter 1, Tropical Alpha.
Use DX10 and now I got the 101 set up on it, so I like it. Just, it's just a nice accessory, fancy schmancy accessory.
Hey, what's happening? You guys, I've been meaning to do this for a while. When I have the Spyserver running, it's kind of handy because I don't even need to turn on the radio. So a lot of times I'll just log into the Spyserver and have a surf around. And what you see right here is SDR Sharp. You can download SDR Sharp, and there's tutorial videos on my YouTube channel regarding how to set this up. And if you're interested in putting up a Spyserver, I show you how to do that as well. But if you want to log into a Spyserver, there's plenty of information out there. I do have tutorials, like I said, on the channel. So what you're seeing right here is SDR Sharp connected to my Spyserver that I have running. The Spyserver generally runs on the 80 meter multiband delta, which covers 80, 40, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. Now, it's not necessarily about the Spyserver itself. The one interesting thing, I don't know how many other WebSDR type systems can do this, but if you're able to set the output of that WebSDR, you can pipe that to the Rxdap system. And I run the Rxdap on any WebSDR that allows me to select where the output's going to go, right? So I have a virtual audio cable patched in, and I send the output of the Spyserver to, or the WebSDR to the virtual audio cable input, and then that is picked up over here in the VST host in the Rxdap. So if we go to devices, I'm not going to spend much time on this because I covered all this stuff already. So you'll see virtual audio cable, line 1 on the input port, and my output goes to the primary station card, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's all I'm going to spend as far as time on that. Look at the videos for the Master Blast audio series that I did. I think it's the last 2 or 3 videos. It'll walk you through how to get that running, as well as the link is in the description and on all my videos, all my recent videos, I think up through the past 3 years maybe, or something like that. So you don't have, this is not just for your transceiver. If you're surfing around online and see, I don't have any desire. The bands were really good a little bit ago. 20 meters was roaring in there. It's kind of started to settle down now. It may come back, I don't know. But I didn't have any desire to really. I'm exhausted. I slept 2 hours last night. What's up, Dave? And 2 hours solid. The rest of the night was pure carnage. So whatever I can do to improve the signal to noise ratio, basically, even on a Spyserver, this will ramp things up drastically. It'll also help you get things under control pretty radically. So I'm going to jump around, do a little jumping around, and I'll just show you a couple things. And this is going to be short and sweet. And hey, Marvin, just dropping by to say hello. Well, not sticking around too long. I just got grass to cut. Yeah, I got some grass to cut too, man. Oh, you must, Marvin, you down south then. Hope you fared well in the hurricane. Well, that's a little scary. So I hope you did okay. It doesn't sound, you didn't mention you had any damage, but you got grass to mow, so stuff is growing, right? Anyways, let's jump back over to here. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute it. And then what I will do, let's drag this. Come on, let go. Let's drag this here. And let's do this. You know, I'm just going to go full screen, and then I'll just pull it back up if I have to. So a couple things on this I wanted to show you. This is the RxDap. You have the Denoiser Pro, which is right here, and you have the Subtract plugin, which is right here. Now, if you have a very weak signal, you're going to want to bypass this Subtract plugin. So you go over here, it says Reefer Standalone. This is downloadable, all pre-configured right from the website. All you have to do is set your inputs and outputs, basically. That's it. And then just set it up, set your RF gain, blah, 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 like I talk about in the Master Blaster Class series towards the ending videos. You just set your, either if you've got a traditional transceiver, work with your noise reduction, the RF gain, SDRs, AGCT, noise reduction, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes it's better to just disengage the standalone, but what you'll notice is if you play with this, and this is pretty, it looks complicated, but it's not. All right, once you get your head around it. So the biggest advantage to this is that it really lifts the audio up and out. I mean, radically lifts it up and out. So let's just, I wish there was a way to, there is a way to do it. I'm just not sure if it's worth it because you won't be able to see everything on both screens. So I'm going to just toggle between both screens. So let's go ahead and unmute.
You know, stuff that they were going against, you know, whatever they were doing against ham radio.
Okay, so right here in SDR Sharp, you're going to most likely have a whole shed load of windows open on SDR Sharp, which is fine. I have mine all set up, pre-configured. I pretty much don't touch it. The only thing I have open is my bandwidth, my modes, bandwidth. Let's see. What happened to my step size? My step size was there, but I must have done something to it. That's disappeared. Anyways, I have the AGC here. So the AGC is what I use. The AGC and the volume in SDR Sharp is what I use to drive the RxDap system. So I just want to show you that, mention that, and you'll see me working with it probably.
So, and then he got into 2 meter, and I was like, I don't know if he had this license or not, but that was funny. Because I know that name. And I looked up the address. Like, holy. And that's all it is.
Roger. Copy that. You're still 5555. Appreciate the contact, my friend. Have a great evening. 73.
See you, Marvin. Take care.
November 2, Bravo Tango Delta.
November 2, Bravo Tango Delta. Brian, I hope to see you next week, my friend. You're the only 5'9" I think I've
watts though. I worked hard, and I like my amplifier. This is Whiskey One Pop Echo Fox. This is the 40 meter data net. Come join us. Give us your call sign now, please. November 3 Whiskey Victoria Bravo. We got you. November 3 Whiskey Victor. November 3 Whiskey Victor Bravo. We got you, sir. There was a Whiskey Alpha 4 Golf. I didn't catch all the call. Come again. Whiskey Alpha 4 Golf Mike Delta. All right, we got you, sir. Whiskey Alpha.
Okay, so right here, I have the standalone disengaged. Now, you may want to do this if you've got weak signals. This applies to whatever you're running on. Same thing, right? Here we have a low cut. If you have a weak signal and it's very difficult to copy, you just click this and it will trim off, shut down everything below 141 hertz. And you can set this by left clicking and dragging up and down. I found 140 hertz is pretty good. It still allows enough bottom end to come in and people's audio, so it's not brittle. But if it's a very weak copy and their audio is not correct, there's not enough energy in the top end, it'll be difficult to understand them. So that's a powerful feature there. And yes, it works great on the web SDRs, especially Spyserver. So you can see that signal right now. There's a lot of hard limiting going on. A lot. Which means I could probably shut that down a little bit with the volume control or the AGCT. However, if you want to copy the real weak signals, you're going to need to leave that cranked. What this is doing is it's crushing the really loud audio and it's allowing the weaker audio to come through. So if the reefer, this one right here, is engaged, so if you left click this, that's running now. So a weaker signal, this is the subtract plugin. That's what the reefer standalone is. This is subtract plugin, noise reduction program. Remember what I said, this red line acts like a noise gate. So anything that doesn't penetrate that red line right here, it will not come through. All right. Let's get the audio back on. Move that back off.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just going to check in.
All right, and through QIL, you'll get 18 KD, 2DMR. Anyone else?
He's pretty weak. He's right in the mud. So I'll kick the subtract plugin back on. Let's see who else we got in here.
The one with the kids, he had a bunch of kids for the cattle drive.
Nope, that is Cowboys is the name of that one.
Yes.
This one's different. Well, I don't think I've seen that one. It's not one of the better ones.
So
that's what I do sometimes. I'll just, matter of fact,
So you can control the drive level to the entire system. Once your AGCT is set, you can drive the whole thing with the volume, which normally you do that anyways, right? So it's really pretty passive. Once you get it set up correctly,
it's
you're
got
off and running.
A Jeep Compass there, the one like you drove there not too long ago, there, Ron.
You got to do a hail cut to match it to the antenna. Or down inside the building where it's going to match to the transmitters and all that stuff. But that's typically done in a shop someplace.
So what do they come on, a flatbed, and they have like a forklift or a caterpillar, like a loader to move them?
Well, at Empire, let me tell you how it works.
When I grew up in New York City, all the kids that went to Catholic schools,
Okay, you notice that when I went to change, that signal right there on one of the rigs is probably, what do we got? Peak, minus 22. So that's pretty strong signal. I bet that's 20 over. And you notice that there was virtually no difference between the weaker signal and that signal. That's what this thing does. Hey, what's up, Paul? All right. Let's go up to 20. See what's going on at 20 here. Who's this?
Yes, Kilo Italy for
Echo QSL.
Yes, sir. Kilo Italy 5 Kilo Echo Echo. That's John. Okay, John, you're 5x8 in Corsica Island. Yes, sir?
QSL, you're 5x7 in Paris, Texas. Good to work you for the second time. Good DX in 73.
Okay, 73. Yes, I see the SSR on your page, John. Thank you, 73.
73.
You see how that strong signal doesn't blow your friggin' head off?
Charlie, Yankee. And out in the Gulf of the St. Lawrence, the water was very definitely salt water. And I was a kid starting out in ham radio at that time, and I later realized, years and years later, I realized what the effect of salt water is. After, of course, I had moved away and found myself in places like Ottawa and Montreal and Toronto. I transferred in and out of that particular model because I used to speak to a ZL station. He sounded exactly the same. But I'm not really hearing it on you, to be honest, Tommy. It's not noticeable, not as loud as your other station here. But perhaps if you were 20 or 30 over, I might pick it up a bit more. But my amplifier also has quite a noisy fan on it. This one runs a Russian GS35 tube, a radar tube, but it's just ticking along at the 400 watts. But it doesn't get... Oh, pull back. Okay, what's the number radio, please?
great time there. Love it. Love the Big Apple. 73 Mike, thanks for the QSO. Whiskey 2 Mike, Golf Fox, Oscar November 6, Zulu Kilo.
Kilo Bravo 7.
Norway 5, Germany, Italy.
Foxtrot, Mike.
KG7, Tango, Germany, Radio, KW5, CW, 59, and the K0548, Texas.
Thank you for the 59. 59, Wyoming.
Wyoming. Thank you much, Jim. KW5, CW, QRZ.
Thank you for that. Whiskey 5, Golf, Foxtrot, Mike.
Yeah, well, we got lots of stations calling. I did catch KI6 X-Ray Charlie, KW5 CW 59, and the K0548 Texas. Okay, very good. Frank here, and
You're 5 and 7 in South Carolina, QSL. 7-3.
Okay, the Subtract plugin's now on.
Kilo Delta 9, Tango Mike Icky. QSO, you're 59 mile Wisconsin. Thanks for activating.
Kilo, estoy confiando con 2025, ni a ti, porque es tan fuerte que me borra. Salúdame acá. For the 9th report coming from the Buckeye State, you have a solid 5 and 9 report. 5 and 9 report here. I can see you live in Londonderry in Ohio. I have that on QRZ page here. Running 890, 1 kW, and 4 elements. Well, I have 4 active elements on 20 meters. My antenna is on QRZ.com. It's a big opti-beam. If you want to have a look on it, you can see what kind of antenna I'm using. But 4 active elements on 20 meters, QSL. My name is Eddie. Echo Delta Delta, India Echo. Over.
Roger. Happy to meet you from Miami. Still 59 plus in South India. So nice meeting you, and thanks for the call. Take care. And catch it down below. And details in the QR that page. Kilo Japan 4, Japan Tango Cuba. Form 2 Victor India Delta. Bye-bye, good night.
73s, have a good one and be safe. 73s.
Kilowatt 5, United America, K5 UA.
Okay, the kilo November, please. The kilo November 4 something. Kilo November, please. The kilo for November radio X-ray, Roger. The kilo 1 Norway radio X-ray. Good morning, sir. Thanks for the call. Next frequency 517, 57, over.
Meters in the air, John. M0, I believe that's JWK. Is that correct? K5 Bravo Mike.
Yeah, you got the call right, Tom. And yeah, you're working very well. It's 5.9 plus 15, so a great signal to the central part of the UK. And so running the 4-element quad this side with the old Kenwood 870. And thanks for the audio report. I recently, the only thing I've changed on the station for quite a while, I put a new microphone lock on the wind muff on the PR4.
Yes, it is, Rui. Hey, Rui, how you doing? This is the HF Plus.
That much difference, but you see the change the characteristics of the microphone. Okay, 73's Tom, and thanks for the call, and great signal from Oklahoma City. K5 Bravo Mike, M0 JWK. 73's Tom.
Okay, 73, John. All the best. I wish the best for you and your family, and I wish you lots of DX. M0J WK, K5 Bravo Mike. Ciao.
Yeah, 73's Tom.
Kilo India 5, Kilo Echo Echo. Kilo India 5, Kilo Echo Echo.
Alpha November Zulu again.
That freaking 4-element quad rips some major bajingo, man. That'll rip somebody a new butthole. There you go, folks. Great antennas, aren't they?
Thank you so much for your call. You're 5 minutes. How much more you beautiful signal.
Traffic has really increased. Of course, that was quite a few years ago. Anyway, of course, I used to leave early in the morning. But still, now, early in the morning, it's just more congestion, and more congestion. So enjoy your idyllic location near the Atlantic Ocean. I see you've got one of the best hex beams made in the world. So enjoy it. And
very, very good for the West Coast. Mainly West Coast Canada was coming through quite strong on 15, but 17 seemed a bit poorer tonight for the States, but 20 sort of woken up now in the last 10, 15 minutes. So radio here, it's an old Kenwood 870 with a high LPR 40 mic. But you're very, very strong this evening. K2 Alpha Norway Zulu, Mike 0 JWK.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, John, for the good call. I appreciate this. The very nice signal. So, all the best to you. And I wish good things for you and meet you.
negative number 5, Kilo Echo Echo.
Yes, Kilo India 5, Kilo Echo Echo.
Okay, very fine business now. Kilo India 5, Kilo Echo Echo, thank you. So 5x5, 5x7, QSL.
QSL, you're 5x7 in Paris, Texas. Good to work you again so soon. The name is John. Thank you very much and good DX.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, John. My Alpha 89 is of money. Oscar Sierra, my Alpha November Yankee. 73.
73.
Okay.
Secure Canada.
Okay, one thing I want you to pay attention to. If you watch his signal, see how he's got practically no top end. Let me zoom this out. This is really cool. Okay, see the imbalance in his signal right here? He's got a lot of bottom end. The top end should be pushing up into the upper sideband. There's nothing present. So, what I do, remember what I said? This button right here. I click this, it trims off everything below 141 hertz. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute it again, and I'm going to toggle it back and forth. And you tell me whether the copy, no, it's not a Discovery, Rui. It's just an HF Plus. I don't have the Discovery. Just to let you know, buddy. Yes, let me unmute it, and I'm going to toggle back and forth. Listen closely to his audio. What it'll do is it'll help the articulation if you roll off that bottom end. That's what I was talking about before. You'll see a lot of people with a gross imbalance. It's great to push bottom end, but you have to have the top end damn close to equal. Oh, it just timed out. Oh, shoot. Somebody logged onto the Spyserver and they grabbed it. They're listening down in the... I got to go back to that because that was kind of important. So, stand by for a second, you guys. I've got to close the Spyserver and then wake it back up again, unfortunately. I hate to do that to someone, but okay. Let me grab it and go up to 14. All righty, let's try this again. That's too funny. I knew that was going to happen. Anybody remember where he was? Mute it so I can.
Photographs on QRZ.com. You have a lot of friends, and they look to be very, very good friends. Good night. Buona fortuna, Max. Ciao. Ciao, ciao, John. Hasta la próxima, Max. Ciao, ciao.
Okay, where was he? I'll recognize it if I see it. No, my luck, he probably cleared them. What's this right here?
América, Tata, Zulu, amigo, Absalom, una vez, abrazo, adelante, bienvenido a la red internacional Yankee Victor. José Luis con la buenas tardes, saludos cordialísimos,
Okay, just to let you know, that is not the system. That audio is some of the worst audio I've ever heard. That is not the system. That's them. Holy crap. Let me see if I can find that guy. See if I can recognize. What's this right here?
I have no problem hearing you, and it sounds really nice.
That's not him. No, it's not him either.
Timber Junkie Osman is my personal name. QSR? 73, thank you. QRZ? Q20. Yo, la temporada mía de trabajo no empieza hasta octubre, o sea, estoy gozando aquí con el radio, durmiendo, comiendo lo que quiero. Audio report. Really nice to get you in this evening. Back to you, I think it's Daniel. Lovely to get you in there from Orville, Ohio. Kilo Echo 8, a Romeo Hotel, and you're from Mike Iglesias, Tango, Lima,
Shoot.
Buenas noches, ¿cómo va?
Escuchándolo bien a todos, aunque un poco mojadito, pero no le pierdo nada, está entrenando bien. Así es que eso es lo que hago, güey.
Cuídate mucho, espero volver a confiar en otra oportunidad. Voy a responder un contacto más y de ahí ya me voy a mi casa.
So many sections are calling, and I only got a few minutes left, so I have to go continue. 76, thanks for the QSO.
Got a lot of static crashing propagated in here tonight.
73 kilo Charlie 2 sugar echo kilo. Órale.
Matching selections and switch box on.
So, each band's fed individually. Okay, so this reads, Charles, and thanks for the call. K5UA, 90JWK.
Very good, John. Yeah, I ran 4-element quads for about 30 years. Great antenna. 73, good luck.
Yeah, bye for now.
Kilo Charlie 4 Delta Papa Tango.
Okay, I'll take one more call and go to TRT, but Delta Papa Tango, I think, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, John. This is Kilo Charlie number 4 Delta Papa Tango. QSL?
Okay, KT4 Delta Papa Tango. Very good evening. Name is John, and you're 5 and 9, QSL.
QSL, John, my friend. Yeah, you're also 5 and 9 in South Florida. My name is Sal Santiago Alpha Lima. QSL?
Okay, Sal. Yeah, nice to make the contact. Did you get any trouble with the hurricane that came through, Sal, that year?
No, sir. Yeah, we're very far down south. The storm hit up about 100 and I would say about 200 miles from here.
All right. Well, I can't find that guy. I'm looking at the spectrum. I just don't see him. Shoot. Because it was a great demonstration of that.
Yeah, I grew up basically Orland Park, Darien, Hinsdale.
So basically, if someone is muddy, muffled sounding, you can fix that pretty easily. Let's say you're in QSO with someone and you're not doing this, messing around with a Spyserver or anything. You can fix that really easy. You just come over here. Sometimes if they have a lot of mud, you can take this right here, left click and hold and drag this up to about 200 hertz and click this button on and it will rip everything 200 hertz and down out. Basically, what you're doing is you're correcting the imbalance in the audio. So that's how that works. It's not, I find 141 hertz is a very good area to set it to for general use. But oftentimes people don't have a lot of bottom end, but they've got that lower mid range with absolutely no top end. And it's difficult to copy them sometimes to understand what they're saying. So I'll just roll that thing up to 200 hertz, click that button on and boom. The articulation comes right in. So the other frequencies are there. It's just that they're so low in magnitude that they're being overtaken by the lower frequencies. Like we always talk about, ESSB audio, Voodoo audio is great. But if it's not balanced, I had a great conversation just to close this thing out this morning with a couple guys on 80 meters, 75, 80 meters. And we both, it was pretty much unanimous between the three of us that the majority of people are not listening on SDRs. And most traditional transceivers, they do, even though they're set, the receive may be set, let's say 100 to 3.6 kilohertz. They do hear below 100. My 7300 does. I've looked at it on a spectrum analyzer. The receive audio, oh yeah. Even on receive, it's got audio. On big, bodacious audio, guys, it's got audio below 100 hertz. It's coming through. But generally, people are listening at anywhere from 2.8 to maybe 3.6. Generally, people set their radios at 2.8 to 3 kilohertz on receive. So if you run audio out beyond that, keep in mind, unless you're in a roundtable where you know everybody, and you know what they're listening on so they can appreciate it. Generally, if I'm calling CQ, I don't play that game anymore. I'm running plenty of energy in the 1.6 to 3 kilohertz range. So when I see my audio on the spectrum, I'll see the low end come up. And then if I say something with like an S, a Sierra, or a Tango, or a Kilo, something with a lot of attack, I'll see the top end jump, and it'll jump equal to the bottom. And that's how I set my audio up. I don't even hardly care about it. I don't care whether people like it or not anymore. What I found is that generally 99% of the time, people, if I'm calling CQ, they come back to me, most likely they're listening at like 3 kilohertz. They could be listening out to 3.6, but I think about 80% of the time they're listening around 2.83 kilohertz. If all my energy is in the bottom and all my energy is out to 4K, well, that doesn't help them at all. You see where I'm going? So you take that application and you move that into the WebSDR, the Spyserver realm. The whole point of this video is it shows you that as good as the SDR technology is, you can get exponentially more control with this. Also, this right here, I think I went through this in the video. This right here is an infinitely adjustable bandpass filter. You can drag these right here in and out, and they're steep skirts, as you can see, and it will slam the door. So you can also do it with this. You can take this and you can drag this way, all the way up to here, and then just drag this over here, and bang, you just shut everything off from 115 hertz and down. And I'm telling you, it shuts it off. Nothing gets through that. And you can notch the crap out of it as well. So, yeah, it gives you, it's a tool, is what I'm trying to say. Tools are good. And especially if they're cost effective, that's great, right? Let me just check into the chat, and then I'm going to close it down because we're getting ready to do dinner. And man, I'm going to be in bed early tonight. What a horrible couple days I've had. I wish I could say they've been productive, but I just ended up spending more money. Not the time to be spending money. Anyways, Jose, how you doing? Alvarez? XE2ZZ. And say 7-3 to you, Rui, Paul, Marvin, and Dave. I know there's not much interest in this, but for those folks that are like SWLers, this is kind of a cool thing. Like I've said a million times, I will never run, I don't care what radio it is. I haven't heard a single radio out there that can't benefit from this. Not a one. Not one. Yes, it's complicated at first. Once it's up and running, man, I don't touch it. It is light speed. It is lightning quick. And it makes operating basically a pure orgasmic pleasure. And the beautiful thing is, I never get ear fatigue anymore. Ever. Never have any sort of fatigue. So 7-3, you guys. I'm not trying to sell it, obviously, because I don't make money on it. It's just something I threw together. You don't want to try it? Don't try it. I'm not pushing anything on anyone. I'm just sharing my experience, what I found out. 7-3, guys. We'll catch you later.